last half-century throughout California, real estate developers and cities have been banding together to build tens of thousands of homes in hillside communities that either have that pristine ocean view or are nestled against the backdrop of amazing mountain ranges. Nowhere is that more evident than in Southern California. These types of houses, high atop the hills, can be seen everywhere, from the Anaheim Hills and Laguna Beach in Orange County, to Malibu and the Hollywood Hills in Los Angeles County, to Montecito and Ojai in Santa Barbara County. However, at what cost are these homes being built?
Let me preface this entire thing by saying, as a builder, government regulation is not something I'm looking forward to in general. But as you can see, a hillside development is innately less sustainable than any other development.
Farzin Agapor is a real estate developer and builder of multi-million-dollar estates, some of them in hillside neighborhoods throughout Southern California. For the past 10 years, he has built homes and other structures everywhere from Malibu in downtown Los Angeles to Palm Springs in San Bernardino County. While Agapor is in the business of building to make money, and lots of it, he is trying to get the word out to his fellow industry peers, voicing his concerns about what he calls serious sustainability issues. We met Agapor out here at this hillside Malibu community, an affluent SoCal area notorious for wildfires, landslides, and mudslides.
Cities across the country have a number of codes and building codes related to sustainability. However, planning departments don't. Planning departments don't take sustainability into consideration when they set out their guidelines. They basically give you the size of the lot, the setback, the floor area calculation, which determines how much you can build on a specific piece of land. None of these regulations take safety into measure, or sustainability for that matter. At this point in time, when hillside properties have become the hottest commodity, just at the time we're realizing they're the least sustainable commodity, we need to make sure we avoid a situation like Montecito.
What Agapor is referring to is the Montecito mudslide this past January that claimed the lives of 21 people. Here's what happened.
Large fires are burning north and west of Los Angeles. The threat level index is red in Ventura and Los Angeles counties. It was raised to purple in some places. That is a level that has never been used before.
Winds subsided Wednesday but have picked up again, fanning flames across Southern California.
No sooner were Californians out of harm's way from the devastating blaze, Mother Nature dealt a different kind of wrath. In January, heavy, intense rains caused unprecedented mudslides and debris flows in the Montecito neighborhood of Santa Barbara County because of all the scorched earth from the Thomas Fire. In addition to the 21 people who died in this disaster, more than 100 homes were destroyed and over 300 damaged. And part of one of California's busiest highways, Highway 101, was shut down for nearly 2 weeks. Kate Scher is a geologist with the United States Geological Survey. She was part of the response team which aided in the Montecito rescue effort and also helped with damage surveillance and assessment. Today, we met Scher out here at a debris basin in the Sylmar community of Los Angeles County, located at the San Gabriel Mountains. In December, parts of Sylmar were also scorched from what was known as the Creek Fire.
The material that you can see on the landscape is what becomes a debris flow. A common word that's used to describe that is actually a mud flow. We like to use the term debris flow because it includes not just mud from the soil, but also the big rocks, the trees, big chunks of the bedrock or the hill slope that can get entrained in these flows as they go downhill. So the reason we like to say debris flow is it's a huge variety of material that comes down, not just mud. Debris flows can move as fast as 30 to 40 miles an hour. If you think of yourself driving in a car at that speed, you certainly wouldn't want to hit anybody, right? When you envision that you could take all the material on this landslide in the landscape and have it move that quickly in a slurry that has a concentration of like cement, for example, and it's moving that fast, it can take you out very quickly.
Scher explains these charred hills here in Sylmar are exactly like the hillsides in Montecito after the Thomas Fire. The inferno burned all the living and dead vegetation that had sheltered the soil. The land quickly eroded because there was no protective shield or barrier from the debris flow.
You can see where there used to be vegetation before the fire, and that vegetation, all of the roots that go in, the smaller plants that have burned up, all of those roots go in and basically lock the soil into the bedrock. Once you have this burn, those roots that act like the staples that hold the soil into the ground are all gone. Descriptions you hear from people that it sounds like a freight train coming at you. So you can envision you have boulders out in the Montecito area. We were measuring boulders that were 2 meters high. That's taller than me.
I have not seen a debris flow this bad within the last 20 years.
Janice Hernandez is with the California Geological Survey. Hernandez was also part of the team out at Montecito, helping emergency responders and also documenting the path of the debris flow and mudslide.
They come barreling down the canyons at a rapid pace, and as this material works its way down the slopes, it's picking up stuff and it's just making the mass even greater. If at the bottom of the canyon we have a debris basin down there, it's supposed to catch this heavy material and allow the lighter material, the water, to flow out of it. But in the case after a fire, there was just too much material to come down and the basins filled up and they overtopped, and all that material was spilling out into the neighborhoods uncontrollably. Enough material came out of the canyons to fill perhaps 300 football fields.
Agapor says he does not want a repeat of Montecito, and while he knows mudslides and debris flows are going to happen, he believes his industry could at the very least be more judicious about where they build, and also prepare folks who purchase that perfect hillside property.
A homeowner can essentially do 3 things to safeguard their home purchase and possibly safeguard their lives. First thing they can do is hire a soils engineer to give them a soils report. Second thing they should do is get a licensed surveyor to give them a survey of the land they're purchasing. The third thing you should do is hire a structural engineer to take a look at the house you're buying. Now, all these 3 things are going to cost you thousands of dollars, but in my estimation, it's worth safeguarding your home and possibly safeguarding your life.
Is there any way that this can be prevented, or is Mother Nature just going to do what Mother Nature does?
Mother Nature is going to do what Mother Nature does.
Areas that have had landslides before are particularly at risk. The fact that they've had a landslide before makes them more at risk to have a landslide again. So if it wasn't sustainable in the past, it's definitely not going to be sustainable in the future.
When the rain comes down, no vegetation, loose soils, it's just a recipe for disaster. You basically get buried by the debris.